Happiness and welcome back to the Carpenter's Office. I know I've just been doing some short videos for you last couple months. I've been super busy traveling to our home in Mexico and back, and had a bunch of relatives here at Christmas time, touring California. But it's hard for me to get motivated sometimes to do these videos. You know, it's an artistic thing for me. My wife's an artist, and I ask her to build something or paint something, and she just tells me, "Mijo, I have to have inspiration." You know, artists gotta to be inspired, and so I'm super inspired today, and I'm happy to be here. And I got some stuff to talk to you about. If you're one of those people that tunes out at the end when I start talking about peace and love, stay tuned on this one, because this one has a really good. It has history, some California history, and a real good story at the end. I still have the Happiness Carpenter shirts available. This is the one made by Lee. It's the darker version. Got the Happiness Carpenter patch, the California Grizzly Bear as on our state flag patch, the Red Wing Shoes patch, and then here's this was a vintage Smoky Bear patch with cubs, and I had one on my shirt, and I had to have more of these made because it's vintage. It's the coolest. It says prevent forest fires. It's the coolest Smoky Bear patch that I could find. So this one is a light flannel, the Lee. I have that right now in medium, large, extra large, and 2X. The other one that we have seems to be a little bit more popular. This is the Wrangler one, and it has all the same patch configuration. It has 2 pockets with flaps. 1 pocket, no flap. 2 pockets with flaps, and this one's it's a little bit heavier. It's kind of like a work shirt. Kind of feels like a flannel on the inside, but it's a little bit heavier than the actual flannel one. So those are available. They're $165. I'll split shipping with you, and if you don't want to go for that, big amount of money there, I still have the Happiness Carpenter patches, and they're approximately, I think, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and those are available for $10. Free shipping. I'll throw in the stamp on those. If you're interested, message me, or if you don't already have me on Facebook or Insta, or leave your comment that you're interested right here on YouTube, and then we'll try and get it worked out somehow. I kind of screwed up. I do that all the time, But, I tell you guys, or I have told some of you guys probably privately through Messenger, that have asked me to do certain products or whatever. I'm not one of those kind of influencers that slams products and damages people's business or whatever. I'm a positive. I'm on the positive end of the spectrum, and I really only do things I like. And you have never heard me talk about this boot, the Red Wing Sawmill, because when it came out, I screwed up. 2019, I did not like it. Well, I got this for a good price, and they are not mine. They've already been passed on to one of my guys, one of you viewers. Hey, Ryan. And they are going to be sent to Canada to a gentleman that lives in a colder climate, and he wants them and needs them, and I passed them on to him at a good price. The Red Wing Sawmill. This is the 2927. Now, they made this 2019, they came out. They're not making them anymore. If you can get your hands on a pair for a good price, do it. They're super pricey now. I don't know if they're ever going to come back. They're not on their website. There's just a few pairs online. The 2927 is the Briar Oil Slick. Okay, they were really, really dry when I got them. These are in really good shape. The soles, it's got the Vibram lug sole, and they were in really good shape, but they were just kind of dry. And so I put something on them called walrus oil. And the walrus oil, I have so many products down there. People gave me, or that I got somehow. I don't. And the walrus oil darkened them up a bit. This is the Briar Oil Slick. Okay, it darkened them up a bit. But I was reading about the walrus oil. It is all natural. It comes out with kind of, I know you can see it, kind of a matte sheen, and it is a beautiful oil. It's a little bit different than like mink oil I put on my work boots. That's really, I kind of put that on, and it's really a heavy layer of oil. But this has if you can see that shine on there, it's just got a beautiful shine. I buffed them afterwards, and I really like them. Now, Okay, features of this. No, sorry, let me go back. 2927 is the Briar Oil Slick. 2926 was the Olive Mojave. Okay, it's a rough out. And the Olive Mojave is supposed to be something that's rated by the U.S. Marines. It's supposed to be waterproof. These are made to be more waterproof, more cold weather boots. That is the 2926. 2927, 2926 is the Olive Mojave rough out. 2932, and these are the ones I really like. I was looking at them online. Someone was selling a pair for, I don't know, 300 something bucks. That's black. I don't know exactly which black leather. One of the sites said it was black oil slick. I've never heard of black oil slick, just briar oil slick, which is a brownish color, a deep brown color. 2932 is the black. You got the black padded collar, the black boot, and with the black and the briar oil slick, they have what they call tonal stitching. So tonal means it's in the same tone as the leather. So you can't, the stitching is pretty much a dark brown too, and on the black, the stitching is a black, but on the Olive Mojave, they're kind of cool if you like that kind of lightish green, tannish color. It has a contrast stitching on there. Now, on these, it has a padded collar. Okay, now you know I don't like padded collars. This padded collar, it's like it has a roll in there too. And when I wore these around for like 9 hours, I think it was last weekend, and I just fell in love with them. This collar is made out of some of the same leather that Red Wing makes some gloves. This is gloves with. This is deer leather. It's super soft and supple. I'm not a fan of the collar, but it actually, I could really feel it. You know, it dips down a little bit as I was crouching or bending over or whatever. That pad just felt super cushy and comfortable right there. It has a little pull on the back. It's not a pull loop. Okay, this pull is simply it kind of droops down. It's simply a piece of leather. I don't like that as much as the finger one. Some guys or some companies make the finger one. I can't get my fat finger through there, so I like a little bit of a finger pull loop. The reason guys don't like a pull loop is because it catches on their jeans. If you're hashtag Bristowing, which they're talking about online, Bristowing. If you've seen my Instagram or my Facebook groups that I'm in, I wear really selvage jeans and turn the cuffs up all the way. Selvage jeans were originally made, and they made them just one size fits all on the length, and so guys would just roll them up. So it catches on your cuff if guys use a cuff, or your pants if your pants aren't going down to here and you kind of roll them up. It just one little couple roll, it'll still catch on that, but this one won't. So that's a benefit of the pull. I just didn't feel like it. I liked it as well as the finger pull. Okay. Also, it's a 360-degree Goodyear storm welt. Okay, check that out all the way around. It's a leather storm welt. Lots of I know like the Thorogoods or a lot of the cheaper that they've outsourced to overseas Red Wings have a plastic storm welt like the Ashby. I thought this was going to be kind of like the Ashby. I didn't research it. The Ashby is a good boot. Kind of like feels like a slipper when you wear it. It's made overseas somewhere. This is made in the USA, and there's really nothing about this boot that I don't like. It's funny. On the inside, okay, you can see it's lined. It's not insulated. I thought at first it was insulated, but it's lined. See that light color? One of the sites, Red Wings calls it a canvas, but it's not. It's called Cambrelle. Cambrelle. And I researched Cambrelle. It is supposed to be the best heat and cold, sweat wicking type of lining that you can get for a boot. Now that is used for different boots. Red Wing chose it for this, I guess, because it's the best. And so the Cambrelle is supposed to wick the sweat away from your feet, and then when you take it off, just kind of it airs itself out and lets whatever odors or sweat just exit the boot. That's what it says. This is a actual mock toe. That's why I thought, another mock toe with a padded collar. I'm not into that. That's why I didn't even look into it in 2019. Now they don't make them anymore. It's the only pair I've had my hands on, and I love it. But it's a traditional mock toe. You know, this is a piece, and it's two-piece. It's not embossed like an Alden or some of those boots. Also, you can see on here, I just keep trying to get it close enough for you. You can see on there, okay, there's D-rings. Okay, D-rings are good. They're using a lot of hiking boots, and what they are is you can cinch up your boot a lot tighter. It kind of like rolls. There's no roller in there, but it kind of like rolls through there. And then when you go to take your boot off, it just kind of relaxes quicker to get your foot out. But the top, now, this is the first time the Red Wing site says that they have used these type of speed hooks on there. They're riveted. There's 2 rivets in each speed hook. Those are the same type of speed hooks. Excuse me. The only ones they offered in the William and Lennon handmade in England boots that I got, and I wasn't really into them. And but that's what they offered. That's what they got. I liked them, and now that I've researched them, they are supposed to be the strongest type of speed hook there. So look at that boot. Okay, it's kind of a little shorter boot. I guess it's a 6-inch with that padded collar. That is the Briar Oil Slick. I wore them for 9 hours the other day. Nothing but comfort. These are well broken in. I mean, there's not a lot of wear on the sole, but they're already broken in. Right now, I'm looking at, as I look in them, I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't. But there's just the regular leather footbed in there. They come with a wool liner, like a wool insole. It's 100% wool. And I studied that a little bit, comments and stuff on that. Guys say it's super comfortable and even provides a little bit of cushion. This one doesn't have it. The guy probably thought they were grungy, or I don't know, maybe I pulled them out and threw them away. I think I did. I think they were too grungy, and I threw them away. I fixed these up, cleaned them up, oiled them, and I'm going to pass them on to my buddy Ryan in Canada. Okay, let's see if I got anything else to tell you about the sawmill. Okay, I do not. Okay, now, here's a funny thing, and this is gonna, to me, in my perspective, I give you a lot of opinion or perspective or whatever. I'm not trying to be religious or political. My faith is that of traditional faith, like in the Bible and Jesus Christ. I'm not religious about it, so to speak. My political opinion is vote. Please vote. And if you don't vote, please don't complain about what happens. And if you do vote and your side doesn't win, that's hopefully the system is not broken and you have to endure what other people voted for. So those are my political and religious opinions. I vote, love everybody, love God or love other people, be a good person. My religion is love and kindness. Okay, so I'm gonna tie all this together. This is really cool, man. You got to stay tuned for this. Okay, so the Sawmill boot, Red Ring Sawmill 2927. Okay, now I have something. I designed this 100% with Fortis boots from Indonesia. The Sawmill boot. Look, Happiness Carpenter logo on there. The Sawmill boot. Sorry, this is the Gold Rush boot, and we called it. It's got gold, just a little gold details in there. Gold on that braided stitch. This is a killer boot. I love it to death. They'll make any combination of however you want this last. I helped them develop, and actually I paid for. I didn't get these for free. I paid for these. I paid to help develop the last, so that you guys could have a super cool boot. Now, the Gold Rush. Why did we name it the Gold Rush? Is because that's what's happening here in California. That's why California is one of the probably the most San Francisco Bay Area, the most diverse place on planet Earth. All nations and peoples and language and cultures and orientations and all those things are here because everybody converged in 1849 to look for gold here, and it really led to hydraulic strip mining in some places, which was really bad for the landscape. Really just decimated the indigenous population, and some of the Californios, which are Mexicans of Spanish descent that were living here, were just greatly abused, as well as the Indians. But the Gold Rush happened, and time marches on and moves forward. Many don't know, even those right here in the Northern California, that the 49ers, they have a gold helmet, the football team that everybody loves. Um, that's 1849. That's why they're called the 49ers. It's about the gold rush. So gold was discovered in January 24th of 1848 in Sutter's Mill in Coloma. Okay, it was a sawmill. It was Sutter's sawmill. Okay, that gold was discovered in, and the gold rush happened. Okay, Sutter, Johann Sutter. He was a Swiss immigrant. Changed his name to John Sutter. We're not going to talk about some of the things that happened after in his life, but that Sutter's Mill was on the South Fork of the American River. He had 47. He became a Mexican citizen. Went to the capital of California was in Monterey, California. I think I've taken some pictures for you of my Instagram and Facebook there in Monterey. Maybe I'll do a quick video next time I'm in Monterey. It's just about less than 2 hours from here. That was the first state capital, but it was the Spanish and then the Mexican capital. And so he went before the Mexican governor, this guy named Sutter, and asked for a land grant. And he wanted to develop this area where I'm at right now. It's actually the Central Valley of California, but like an hour and 20 minutes north in Sacramento. The Mexican government gave him a 40,000 acre land grant and 47,000 plus acres, and he promised that what they were concerned about was the Russians were coming, the Americans were coming. We didn't have that Spanish mission system anymore because that was expelled when Mexico broke free of Spain, so it was Mexican territory, and he promised that he would kind of protect the land from incursions. Now, he ended up not doing that. The guy wasn't above board in many ways, and I don't want to talk about that right now. But so he got that land grant. He had a sawmill. The sawmill happened. Now, because of all that happened at that time when he came, Sutter, San Francisco was just kind of a little town, or on the bay there, and of course it exploded after the gold rush and became a metropolitan city of commerce and everything like that. So they have one of the more famous streets in the downtown area of San Francisco is called Sutter Street. Sutter Street runs straight down towards the bay. The way that the bay comes in and the business district of San Francisco is the Pacific Ocean's right out here, and then you go through the Golden Gate, and the bay kind of it goes up towards like Richmond and Tiburon, Marin County, but the larger part of it goes down towards San Jose, and so it goes across in front of San Francisco. So Sutter Street runs like west to east, from the direction of what would be the Pacific Ocean right down towards the bay, and so that's kind of the financial district, the shopping district. I was working in, this was, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago. I was working in downtown San Francisco. We were remodeling at night. One of our boys and I, the older one, and we were working on Sutter Street. And on Sutter Street, some of those buildings are very old. Some of them survived the San Francisco earthquake of 1906. So if you see that, from 1849, when the ships started coming and parking, everyone running towards the gold fields, all those people from different countries and races and cultures and everything, San Francisco started growing in 1849. So by 1906, that's already like 50-something years, when the earthquake happened and most of San Francisco burned down, there was a big city at that time. And so there, we were working on this old building on Sutter Street, and since then, I have talked to my brother-in-law about this. Before I did this video, he was a plumber in San Francisco, so and he's from an immigrant family, a Sicilian immigrant family, and he was a plumber in San Francisco, so he knows a lot of details about San Francisco. And I was talking to him last weekend about some of the historic aspects of San Francisco, because when we were in this old building, we could go under the sidewalk. Now, if you live up in Seattle, they have an under the sidewalk tour up there that I've taken before, because they rebuilt, filled in streets, and up there they said they actually raised up the sidewalk so that the first story windows now became the front door, and the front door was under the sidewalk. Now, Phil, my brother-in-law, explained to me, if you've ever been walking on those big wide city sidewalks and you see like a double kind of metal door, a lot of that is the electrical now, but back in the day, if you see that and then you see these little tiny like 2-inch square like diamond shaped glass areas, that's like a window down under the sidewalk. And in those old areas of San Francisco, the sidewalk from the building, which is like 12 feet, they're very wide sidewalk, goes on the sidewalk under the building. You can walk all the way out to the street on the sidewalk. So when we're into this building, okay, you could see these sidewalks are held up by these giant like 12 or 16 by timbers. And there's this giant basement under there, but there's this little doorway we go through, and you see all these black charred bricks and these giant beams that have black charring on them. That's all from that era of that fire of 1906. And so what Phil told me is those doors that open up next to those little glass blocks going through the sidewalk were coal bins. And so all those buildings, they just come up to the sidewalk with the horses and carriages or whatever, and open up these doors and dump coal down these chutes or these little service dollies that went up and down. Dumbwaiters is what they call them, in old houses where they bring the meals up and down. And so we're working under there, and we're remodeling the first floor of this building, but we're storing everything down below, and it's raining, and rain is raining on the sidewalk, and I got like an old brick from down there charred from the 1906 earthquake. But one night we went out to the truck for some reason, and we were out there, and our boy was just telling me, John, don't talk to everybody. This is the middle of I don't know, like 11:30 midnight or something. There's a lot of weird people around out on the street at that time, and just don't do your normal talking to everybody thing. Well, here's what happened. This woman, very beautiful, attractive woman, okay, black woman dressed in like spandex with like those fluorescent tinnies, came bebopping along down the street like that. And of course, I look at her, I don't know what's wrong with me. Her shoe's untied. So I got to tell her, hey, your shoe's untied. And she stops and she looks at me and she says, well, will you tie it for me? And I thought, oh, John, now, you know what? You got to get yourself in trouble with your mouth again. And I thought about it. And I had knee pads on because I'm an old carpenter and I got bad knees. I always wear like those little athletic girl volleyball knee pads in extra large. So I had knee pads on. So I went down on my knee and I tied her shoe. And I came up real close on her. This was before COVID. Came up real close on her. And I told her what I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you the same thing. I tell this to many people. I came up on her. I said, you are wonderful. You are beautiful. You are intelligent. God made only one of you. And every other creature on this planet desperately needs you to be you. And this woman broke down. And she just collapsed in my arms. And I'm holding her for what seemed, these things that you retell the stories seem like an eternity. It was probably 5 or 10 seconds. I don't know. But all of a sudden she kind of looked up and we kind of broke, we're standing right there and she says, I was on my way to kill myself and you have saved me. And I was just stunned. And I don't know what I said after that. Oh, well, God bless you. And, please be careful. Don't hurt yourself. And she just went bebopping on her way. So what I want to tell you is, how does everything tie together and everything can work together for good? Everything's related. We got a sawmill, gold's discovered, San Francisco booms, Sutter Street named after the guy that owned the mill. The guy that's telling you about sawmill boots was out there talking to somebody, and when I'm talking about persecution and stuff, this woman was black, she was a woman, she could have been Muslim, I don't know, she was different from me. That's the point. Okay? But I love everybody. I don't like everybody, but I love everybody. And I liked that lady. She seemed like a nice lady. And standing right there on top of the ruins of old San Francisco, right under my feet, on that same sidewalk where those charred remains of the San Francisco earthquake, which was the city that burned, which grew up during the gold rush, Because of a sawmill, a lady was helped. And, ma'am, young lady, if you're watching right now, God bless you. I've been praying for you for years. I hope you're fine. But this is my point. How far can kindness and love go, man? How far can it go? Reaching out to other people that you don't know and giving them safety and peace and love and security, I think it goes a very long way. That is not the first or the only time that has happened to me, when I've encountered somebody who was suicidal, did not know it, and ended up helping them into wanting to stay on this earth and on this planet with you and me. You may not think that your life is meaningful, okay? Who are these people here just on the earth, just angry and mean and taking up space and breathing air and using things that other people could use? How many people are there like that? Don't be one of those people. Have meaning to your life. If there's nothing else in your life, but you give kindness to the girl at the gas station or the Walmart checkout or whatever it is, or the guy on the street that needs something and you give him part of your lunch or whatever, you know what? How far does that go? I think it goes a very long way. And I think if you can do just some of those little acts of kindness, random little acts of kindness, then you can be an integral part of this planet. Everything's tied together. Everything wraps together. And if that guy, John Marshall, hadn't discovered gold at Sutter's Mill, maybe that lady wouldn't be saved. I don't know. So what you do, be mindful, be prayerful, and act in love. So today, love from the carpenter's office. Sawmill boots, fancy shirts. Help the others around you. Pass on the love that I'm giving to you. And be who you're supposed to be. Happiness. Happiness today.